Oh, hey, you guys, how are you today? I'm loving today's topic. We're going to be talking about money. We are talking money matters. So let me just call in our guest as you are inviting someone to come through tonight. And I know and trust that you're going to learn. Be inviting someone. Hi, Boy T. Hi, Tumi. How are you? I hope you're well. And our guest has joined. She will appear now. And there she is. Welcome, ma'am.
Hi.
Unjani, how are you?
I'm
How do you
good.
say
I'm
how are you in
good.
Afrikaans? Ugandet?
Mas kaprat.
Ugandet?
Het is goed en jou?
What's the other one? Venda. I just know Nda in Venda, so I'm not so good on that one. Oh, Absheni. I see a family member has come on board. Hi, Simi. I'm just seeing the surname and I'm assuming. Yes, the ladies are coming through. Today we're talking serious stuff. We're talking money stuff. But yeah, how are you? How was your week? Today is what? Today is Thursday. So it's been a week already. How was your week?
It's been good. Just got the flu, but I'm fine.
Ish.
Yeah.
I guess there's no money for a quick fix for that one. So
No.
it's not part of today's program where we can say, okay, so how do we deal with that when you're getting
Just medical aid, I guess.
Oh, there's the answer. Medical aid. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you again for honoring this invitation. This is our intimate space. Here we talk about matters that matter, if I can put it that way. So just a brief while we are waiting for other ladies to join. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Elisa and Zianda. So what we do here on this platform, this is Strength Within a Woman, short known as SWAW, so SWAW. It's an organization that focuses on women who are entrepreneurs or aspiring to be entrepreneurs, without neglecting those who are in the professional spaces and still actually want to go up the ladder there. So they are very much accommodated. So then what we do at the beginning of the year, at least in the first month, we do what is called Profession Explore. This is what generally we used to know as a career fair, basically. Remember when we were in high school, grade 12, then we'll visit universities, and then there would be like maybe an orientation. There'll be those tables where it's different fields, and then, they introduce you to their fields, where you can explore. So we're doing that, but just a virtual one. Which then obviously everyone can watch from the comfort of their own home. But now we are also saying, let's not be maybe as conventional or just stick to those type of professions that are so mainstream. Like in the olden days, it's either you were a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, like you see those mainstream type of professions. I'm a graphic designer. My mom still doesn't know what the hell is that. So
Even me.
yeah. So
even me, I really don't know what graphic designers do. I just
see, and I'm loving that because it's a good problem.
Do you guys do posters? I don't know.
It's a good problem. Others think we just go around and drawing stuff, and then they get shocked when I'm saying, do you know that every company, including yours, needs a graphic designer? When you are planning and strategizing, whether trying to put systems in place, infrastructure, frameworks, whatever the case is, for you to bring that in a visual way, you actually need a graphic designer, The same way when you would think when you're building, you only need the builders, brick and mortar, or you need, obviously, financial personnel, consultants like yourselves. And maybe what is this now, this profession? You see, I'm in the informatics and design space, so I have to think a bit. The ones who architects, yes, architects, But guess what? You see, when you're going to a mall or a mall it's going to be a mall, then they have this nice mock-up as to this is how the mall is going to look like 5 years from now. Who do you think designed that?
You guys.
Anyway, so yeah, it's a good problem. That is why then in this platform we're saying, okay, hey, let's talk about other professions, because we want the kids of today to be able to have that platform to explore, because our mothers until today, they would still vouch for all these mainstream courses. So we're trying to bridge a gap between mothers and daughters and sons of today. When mothers are informed, they can help the kids better. when mothers are informed, they will be able to be open to hear when a kid is saying, I want to be an artist. They'll be like, or whatever, because they're already thinking being an artist is basically to sing. You know, so that is what we're trying to do. So welcome. I think I've gotten some of your guys, I assume, to come true. So then a few weeks, the first week we had Julie. She's from Belgium, and she's actually an artist. She's a clinical psychologist, and she's doing her master's now. You know, so then I like the academic, the balance that we're creating. She has an academic background, but she's also a musician. So she has an academic background, but also pursuing her passions. Last week we spoke to Vanessa. She's from Sweden. She's also in music, but guess what? She's a master in rhetoric. I didn't know what that is until she explained it to us. Rhetoric, like, okay, there's a thing called being a rhetorician. Imagine, you know, I'm still learning to actually pronounce that, you know. So then this week we're like, okay, let's put our house in order. Let's talk money, you know. Let's talk money, but before we do that, I'll allow you to introduce myself. I always do this preamble so that also you can, you know, get comfortable, you know. So I think at least I've done that a bit.
Yeah, thanks. Good job.
For a good almost 10 minutes. So I'll let you introduce yourself, where you born, you know, upbringing, you know, whatever else you think we would love to hear from you.
Okay. So my name is Lita. Surname Gepu. I'm born in Cape Town. I have a twin sister. So I've studied like high school, primary, all of that in Cape Town. So I went to Kenwyn Primary School, and then I went to high school was at Sansusi Girls High School. And then I went to UWC to further my studies. So that's a nutshell about academics. So I love traveling. I think everyone would know that I love to plan trips and everything. So in the group, it's me because I'm the finance person. So I know how to the numbers and everything. Also because I like to take control in the sense of, you know, when you're not passionate about something, especially when it comes to money, or you don't know about money, then you get scared and you just take any choice. So someone who's knowledgeable in that area would be a best fit in the group to look for better options and study like what it is, where we're going, all of those stuff, and get like good deals, if I can say it like that. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Yeah.
I like how you're mentioning you being the best fit for that part, and also telling us that some people who would not be a best fit, it's not even because maybe they would be unwilling, you know, to take that part, but because maybe it's not in their passion. Therefore, they may be, you have anxious buyers.
Yeah.
You have those ones when they just see numbers like myself, they freak out, they don't want to engage anymore, you know. So then it's either I will just neglect or just withdraw totally, which then defeats the whole progress. So I'm glad you're mentioning that, because then it also, I would like to believe, it forms part of some decisions that we may even talk about when it comes to finances. Because some people, when they get money, that is why when someone wins a lot, or there's normally psychologists or advisors, whatever, that are in place, because it is known, obviously, that it does affect you mentally. Like when money comes in, you just get this heart palpitation. There are people who, when money comes into their bank, they can't sit still, they can't sleep, they can't rest, you know, just being aware that there is money that just came in out of just getting a notification, you know. So that speaks of different, perhaps even speaking to temperaments, you know. So yeah, that's an interesting one that you're bringing up there. And I'm interested in your academic background. You went to, in your high school, what did you major in?
Oh, so in high school, I didn't really know what I was going to study until I got to like, I think grade 10ish. So I was just taking, I think also what helped me, if I must say, like beginning of high school, there's those aptitude tests that you take where you get to know like what are your friends, what subjects you enjoy. So I used to do those a lot, and subjects that had a lot of numbers and analytics and all of that, maths and all of those were like top notch on my list. So I knew that eventually probably going to end up doing something with numbers, but I wasn't quite sure like what I'm going to do, because initially I wanted to be a pharmacist, and then I was like, girl, pharmacist doesn't have money, so like, but I just thought I want to be like a pharmacist, blah blah blah. It sounded nice, sounded like a nice profession, the name. But when I started like learning about it, I was like, no, it doesn't have money in my eyes, and I'm not passionate about it. And when I do these tests, it always rings the numbers and maths and your accountings and all of that as my strongest subjects. So that's how I leaned to the BCom, and then when I got to when I got to selecting subjects, that's when I went for your maths, your accountings, your physics in high school. I think maths, your computers and all of that, because it's something I enjoyed, yeah. And then when it crossed over to varsity, I streamed throughout the commerce subject.
Okay. What subjects did you do in varsity?
So,
and also, what did they cover?
Okay, so you have to kind of know what you want to do from probably like first or second year. Okay, first year is like the basics. You get all the subjects you can think of, or modules you can think of, and then as you nearing second year, you need to decide: am I going to be streaming into law, for instance, BCom law? Am I going to be streaming to BCom with computers? What stream that you want to do? So the aptitude tests help again there. So I went and chose your finances, your maths, your investment subjects.
Investment. Oh, you also do investments. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's so you choose from your second year. That's when you get deep dive in what you want to stream in. And I chose my investments, the managements, the finance modules, the maths and all of that, so that I would be able to end up doing the BCom in finance. Yeah.
Oof. You and I are total opposites.
Why? So you like finance?
And I know I'm not the only one here.
I am like a serious person, so yeah, I think that's why I ended up. It's not even that bad. Like, numbers are not even that tricky. It's, I was not even an A student when it comes to numbers, but it's just because I loved it, so I put in a lot of effort into it. So that's how I think I made it, and was it because I knew to get my matric certificate, I knew that one subject that gave me anxiety is accounting. And funny enough, I did well because I put so much into it. So it just if you love something, you just put a lot of effort into it, and you'll see the results. Yeah,
that's true. That's definitely true. That was me in high school in arts. I wouldn't mind cross-nighting for whatever that has to do with arts. I didn't mind cross-nighting for literature. I love literature, English. You see, such that my favorite teachers were those ones, the English ones, life orientation ones, no maths or accounting, whatever.
I can't draw, but I can't draw. Like, I knew.
But that's the thing. You see, I'm glad that you say these things.
Like, I can't draw. I can't. It's not. Yeah. So I already knew from onset, we're not going to do art. We're not going to do those kind of creative things. No, we can't be. I can't be creative. Yeah.
This is a good problem, because when you say I can't draw to save my life, my response again is, who says art is about drawing?
But that's because
you sound like my mom. The rest of the world.
Yeah, that's what we learned. Like in school, if they didn't just introduce the art of drawing and the other arts forms, it would have made it easier. But because drawing, I fumbled that bag. Like, I couldn't. Like, I can draw a house, like simple things, but 3D structures and all of that stuff.
Perhaps after this Profession Explore, I should have one segment where I am the guest, so I can speak about graphic design. Yeah. Because clearly
you have to,
because people still don't understand. They think when you're talking arts, you're talking drawing, So it is well. Thank you for sharing that. And what would you say, what you learned in varsity, how did it form your thinking, even to the industry? What did you say is what you could extract from all your learnings, all your subjects, now to apply them in the real world, in the professional space, but also in your personal life?
Okay, so I did finance, right? And the big thing in finance, the finance subjects, is being able to understand the value of money and how 100 Rand now is not going to be the same value in 5 years down the line. We all know this, but we just don't understand that concept is called the time value of money. But we all know that inflation erodes the value of money and all of that. But just because you don't know the name, the term of it, and I got that term or learned about that term in varsity, and that's what carried me even after varsity, and even now when I'm making decisions, is to remember that you can't be thinking short term. You need to be thinking long term, because the money that you have now will not be sufficient or won't be enough to carry my desires or future plans. So I've always just had that at the back of my mind, even if it's not to do with money, but the concept of time value of money. If anything, it just made decision making for me a bit easier, because I understand that over time, there's a depreciation of the value of money, if I can say it like that. So that's something that I've took for me outside of varsity, and it makes me to always just be a planner, try and be ahead, if I can say that, just to catch up, or try and catch up with what I think the value of something that I put into will be. Yeah. So
okay, so would you say it's a lack of understanding or exposure in what you've just said for us who are in this other side of the world, who say because we don't know how things are going to depreciate or the value of money is going to change in the next few years, let us spend all of this money now?
I think people understand that they need to
the other way around. Let's just finish this money now, because then anyway 5 years from now. So is like, do we need a paradigm shift? Like, where do you think we are falling short? Because we want to make better decisions as well.
Necessarily everyone knows that I must save, not chow everything, but I think people don't know or can't differentiate between saving and investing, and that's where we as people who were exposed into the realm of finance and studied it know the difference, and that's how we tackle life, because we know there's short term and long term. And I think people are not necessarily exposed. They just know just save, but they don't know there's a difference between saving and investing. And I think so I think that's where we need to get people to understand about the whole finance thing, that there's savings and there's investing. So
then it speaks to financial literacy.
Yes.
Because then investing and saving, two different things, and us over here, maybe we don't know the difference to such an extent that we may feel like saving is just wasting time, or it's just risky to save, because let's say you save, and then something happens, you exit the face of the earth and the money goes. So you got to spend it. So then you need to be educated.
I think if I can try and answer, or try and bring like some idea in that, is that if we could, if at school we had subjects that taught us about like these concepts earlier on, it would make things a bit easier. Also, as well as I feel like financial literacy should be included in EMS, I think, because everyone is exposed to EMS, but it's not as in depth like now. I think I can't even remember what you did in EMS, but it doesn't give us
EMS. I remember SWOT analysis.
It's more like marketing. Yes, I can remember. It's more marketing, and it's not more handling of your money, which is something that all of us need to learn, because we're all gonna handle money. We're all gonna get a salary. We all need to know how to save. We need to know how to budget, things like that. So
correct.
Yeah. So I think it's just that you get introduced to it very late in life, and as we studied it, we got introduced to it earlier. So it's a bit easier now to handle money, because the skills and all of that, we kind of like, as we were young, we grew up doing it. So it's easier to practice. Even when you get a lot of money, it's easier to handle it, as opposed to someone who's on I blew it and don't know what to do with the money, because they don't have the skills. So yeah, I think the skills need to be introduced way earlier, as now, not just in high school.
And speaking of that, how are you contributing to what you've just said now? Just out of interest, like how?
So in my day-to-day, like now, I think 2 years back, I literally just wanted people to know what I do, or to be aware of financial literacy, and I started videos.
Why did you stop? That's where I was getting at. Damn. Why did you stop? So I can be on your case.
No, I just think I got shy, and then I just felt like but I feel like I've done what I needed to do, in the sense that the basics of which is where to invest, or which companies you should invest in and which companies you should be saving with, your basics of how to check your credit score. I've tackled those things, and I think it's enough for someone to be able to go on.
Have you gotten feedback?
Yeah, no, a lot. A lot. So even people like, I think after, it was 2021, if I can't remember when I started, but then after that, my mom's colleagues used to come to my house and they want to sit with me, which is fine, which I'm actually very happy, because they would have not have known if I hadn't started.
Yes.
So at least I got what I wanted out of it. Like, people do come, they do ask me where to invest, or how do I look at a fact sheet. So a fact sheet is, just to help you out, a fact sheet is if you want to invest, let's say at Ellen Gray, and you want to look at a specific portfolio, or how can I say, let's say a portfolio. I just don't want to complicate things. So if you want to
portfolio, that sounds about fine.
A portfolio, yeah, fund. If you want to invest it, but you're not sure how it's been doing in the last 5 years, so you pull up a fact sheet. It's available on their site, and you just look over the 5 years how it's been doing. You get like they make it easier for you to see, okay, in the last 5 years it was doing well, and then it dropped, and all of that, and it tells you the companies that you'll be invested in. So it's just like a summary of what you'll be investing in. So I think I did that, because people come and then I tell them, okay, I'm not going to make the decision for you. Go and study, and then come back to me and tell me what you understand, and then I can guide you. Because I don't want them to say, Lita said invest in this company, and they didn't do the homework.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I think I fulfilled my part. And then if people need help, they can always come and ask me.
So 2 things. One, thank you for sharing about the fact sheets, because then that should save a lot of people from losing money, because some, they just see a name, maybe recognize it from somewhere, whatever, it's famous, or whatever the case is, because sometimes we can draw or get the sense of safety just by association. Oh, that name, I know it from, but then without actually knowing their portfolio. So then that should be helpful, you know. But secondly, those who are in your field, in fact, in all fields, including mine, who are consultants, you know, who either do their consulting online, you know, having seminars, conferences, whatever the case is, continuously. What do you think is the difference between them and you? And I'll tell you why I'm asking. To say, who says you have completed your role? Who says you have... You know, for people who are still doing this day to day, year after year, you know, because times change, and there's more people who are coming on board, because you might have spoken to 1,000 people then, and there's like 3,000 others who have no idea of all of the exact. Others, they were never even part of Instagram. They just joined. I know that a year or two from now, I see a person just joined now, Bianca just joined now. You know, this is 2024, but I started this few years ago. So a year ago, if I was like, oh, I'm done, fulfilled, I would never have gotten it. But obviously that isn't, I think that's just to leave you with the homework that perhaps you should continue. But also without saying, because we know our mandates, there are mandates and missions that are time-based. So based on who's your, I don't know, for the sake of the platform we are in, without trying to put a certain focus on a religion, but whoever your supreme or higher power is, in my case, God, because then he, you know, he could have said, okay, just for this season, maybe post-COVID. But if he's like, well, I've put you in that financial space so that you can kick kingdom influence, so you can't be a seasonal thing. But anyway, I won't be the bearer of those news. I'll see how. Yeah, so welcome, Nella. There's actually someone who joined here. I just want to check in. She's Lady Sandra, and I'm calling her out because she was connected last week on the segment of Vanessa, who's from Sweden. So she's from abroad. So it's always good to acknowledge we have an abroad audience here. So I want us to get to the nitty gritties, okay, of the finances. So I want us to talk about financial literacy. You know, like, what is it? and what is the importance of it? Because for some people, it just sounds, it's just a name, we're familiar with it, but we don't actually know what is financial literacy. So we don't want to assume that everyone does know. Myself, I may learn a thing or two.
Okay, so in a nutshell, financial literacy is just being having a good relationship with money, with your finances. If I can just make it simple, it's just being able to understand the skills, like your budgeting well, your investing, your saving, your anything that's got to do with your money. Just being able to understand or have a good relationship with it. Like when do you what is good debt, what is bad debt. So those are the things, the skills that financial literacy introduces. And for you to be financially literate, you need to be aware of those skills or the concepts.
You mentioned something there. You said to be able to know what is good debt, what is bad debt. What is good debt? What is bad debt? Oh, ladies. Ladies are coming in here. This is for us, because us, may the Lord help us with the things that we love. So now we are going to learn what is good debt and what is bad debt.
So your good debt will be a debt that increases your worth, or your financial worth, or whatever worth. So like a house,
your worth.
10 years down the line, it appreciates. So if you bought it for $1 million now, you can sell it for $2 million 10 years down the line. And then your bad, yes, that's your good debt. And then your bad debt would be a debt that gives you financial distress. So if I can put it like that, a credit card. It's a good debt in a way if you can manage it, but it becomes a bad debt if you're someone who doesn't know how to use a credit card. So you end up being in more debt instead of serving its purpose. Yes. So because basically a credit card is there to assist you for an emergency, but you need to be able to pay it back before the limit. I think it's 55 days that is interest free. So it becomes a bad debt, in the sense that you can't pay it back quicker, and then it ends up being eroding your current finances that you have. So your good debt would be something that increases your worth, like your car, your home loan, or your business loans, all of that, or maybe you're taking a loan to study. That's something that's going to equip you. So that's a good, and then a bad debt would be obviously the something that is bring financial distress to you, which is your credit card and all of that.
Okay, thank you for that. And just now, recently, I was pinning you on one of your mandates or missions, and I love Norma, and I love Norma Shem, because Norma just said now, oh man, please do more of this. It's not me, It's not me. It's Norma here. Are you seeing Norma? Are you seeing Norma's comments?
What did Norma say? Let me just say.
You see Norma? Me, I love Norma Shem. Norma says, I'm loving this Rita. Oh man, please do. And then she goes on to say, please do more of this. What do you have to say to Norma? It's not me, Norma.
I spoke to her. She has an answer. She's just trying to be difficult. I told her,
Norma, I appreciate you. Yes, thank you.
I've done what I had to do. I just think I'm a bit shy now, so I don't know.
Shy, okay. So I'm glad I brought you to this platform, so that maybe you just needed some revival. Because there's so much to talk about, like good debt, bad debt, and when does, because I would like to believe even a good debt can even turn into a bad debt. I have, maybe you will correct me because you know the terms better. In 2020, I, like the rest of the world, we're going through a pandemic. I lost my job, like many other people, retrenched and stuff. So boom, just like that, without obviously having expected that. And I had a car that I was servicing. So it got so tough such that I defaulted on the car, and eventually it got repossessed, And I know there are some people who can relate, even though maybe they may not comment, because that thing can depress you, A car is actually even small air house. You can imagine people have gone through, the most. But being young as I am, that's a big deal,
Yeah.
So I found myself in this predicament where I'm like, okay, I thought I had a good debt, so to speak, because as much as a car does not appreciate, but I like to believe that you servicing it well, it actually builds your credit score, credit record, you know. But now the very same thing that is supposed to do that for me, the other way around. Such that even when I got reinstated at work, you know, then I regained my financial muscle. But now I still have that judgment against my name, and it's not working out for me in some areas, you know. And that's something I have to carry for the next, I don't know, how many years does it take before you get, I don't know, you would know these things, credit
I'm
bureau
not
stuff.
sure about those because I try and avoid things with debts and all of that. But but are you saying you're still paying for the car? Because
no, but I'm saying I'm left with the default, and now I'm saying because then that very same asset, if I can put it like, it's supposed to be building my record, but now it's like doing the other way around. Now I wish I never had it, you know, type of a thing, you know. So it can be an unfortunate thing where then it can also confuse you as to, okay, so what should you really then do? You know, and also I remember having, because then I would get summons, and I mean I was not hiding or anything, so then I would go to court, and then I would ask them, okay, but really, to my defense and the rest of the world, we're going through a pandemic, for goodness sake, like what are you expecting? But the law, you know. So these things can be frustrating, you know. So I just thought I should just put that out there, you know. And you see, I love Noma Shem. Noma now says, if
what does Noma say?
It takes 5 years. Noma says it takes about 5 years to be removed. So 20.
Sure as well. I thought it's 5 as well, but I never want to say numbers. Because even if you just on a random thing, I know if you have debt or any sort of debt, let's say if you had an account, make an example now with Foschini or something like that, and they've been trying to contact you, but the debt you can't pay it. Just make sure this is just make sure that you try not to make contact with them, in the sense that, let's say they try and call you and you acknowledge that you have that debt. Don't acknowledge the debt if you're not going to be able to pay it after a certain period. Because I know after 5 years, like Noma says, I know those debts get written off, so that they sell that book to your debt collection companies and they will raid you. But technically it's no longer Foschini's in Foschini's book. They sold that book to these debt companies. So I know that in that space, in that sense, debts can be written off. I just don't know about your one, so that's why I didn't want to say much. But yeah, I know Noma's also in the industry, so they Noma helped us.
Thank you, Noma. Noma, please stay here. I need you in this corner. Okay, and then I wanted to ask, like, what is the importance of budgeting? What are the pros and what are the cons?
Okay, so budgeting, like, if I can just, I think people are just scared about budgeting, because
we're scared.
It's not even
me. I'm for the people. I know we were scared.
It's not even that. It's like budgeting is literally telling your money what to do, before it even comes to, before you even get it. So for instance, you'll tell your salary that there's different rules or guidelines that you can use for someone who doesn't know about budgeting. You can use the, is it 50-20-30 rule? So basically 50% of your income or salary goes to your needs, and then 30% goes to your wants, and then 20% goes to your savings. So if you follow just that rule, or you follow the other one is 80-20, which is exactly the same. The 50-30 is just making it simpler, and the 80 is just saying your needs and wants is in the 80, and then 20% if you can save, you'll be in a better position in the few years down the line. So budgeting is just following those rules and trying to make sure your money has an assignment, if I can say that. So you're just taking control of the money that comes into your account, or whatever income that you have. Just assign it to something, because if you don't assign it, then you won't know what you did with it. Like even a bonus, you can never say, bonus is going to cover my debt. No, I mean cover like a debt I have or something. I always want a big lump sum coming, to have taken a portion of something valuable that I can say, okay, 5 years down the line, okay, I did that with that bonus, I did this with that bonus, so that you can reward yourself. Because if you're going to be throwing your bonuses to your debt, you'll never be encouraged about it, because it's always going to a debt.
So what would you say conclusively, what would you say are the benefits of budgeting?
So budgeting just helps you to have control,
Okay.
gives you less stress, less anxiety, because majority of people being anxious, even around paydays, because they don't have control of their money. They don't know how, or they don't know the simple thing of taking your bank statement and looking at the fees that are going off. Like, people call me technical, but 2 Rand 50 or 5 Rand or 100 Rand going off, it alarms me. Like, even last week I was with my sister and 100 Rand went off, and I didn't know where the 100 Rand, and it was fraud that was happening, because when I asked the bank where's the money, who debited the account, the bank said it's a company in Canada, and I'm like, how? I'm in South Africa. So that's how I take so much control of money leaving my account, or all of that, because it just gives me peace to know that money that I've earned or money that I have, I know where it went. So budgeting just gives you that control. It helps you evaluate what you did with your money. Yeah, so that's just what budgeting allows. So, and then the downside with that, if you don't budget, you're going to be stressed, you're going to be anxious, and yeah, that can.
Okay. Now, would you say that as much as there is the rule that you can follow, it may not always be a straightforward thing, because it's not every month you're gonna have capacity to attribute 80% to your needs or 50% to your needs, or whatever rule that you have chosen, because in some months the needs can be even 105. So how do you deal with that? Because then we can't run away from realities, such that sometimes even the percentage, the split, you may not even make the 20 or 10% of savings, or even once for that matter. So, or even, because sometimes even the needs that can take the whole chunk, it's not even maybe your needs. Maybe you have dependence, so there are also those realities, or there are things you are not in control of, e.g. what just happened to you recently, 100 Rand, but for someone else their whole salary. So like a need that was not even theirs, fraudulent need. So now they are left to say, okay, I have no 20% to go for savings, no ones, and this need that I just serviced is not even mine. So then how do I deal with that? And I'm asking this because we want to get to a place where we don't only just talk about the technical and also maybe the house, practically, but talk to the inner, because then reality hits. Me being aware that there's a 50-20-10 will not even make sense when I'm seeing my whole salary going off to a company in Canada. What will the 80-20% do for me then? So then my question would also be, as a human being and as a woman, someone who has emotions and feelings, holistically. So when someone goes through something like that, what would you say they should do? For example, because you're financially savvy, if that's the word, you knew the first maybe platform to contact. You contacted the bank. Now over here, I'll start judging demons. You understand? Because I'm like, my money, fire. The enemy has come to steal and destroy. He will not steal my money. You understand? But maybe it's just a bank. Even the demons are like, how? What did we do? Why have we come to command us before our time? Anyway, so what should a person in that state do then? This is now obviously, as a person who's in finance, what would be your advice? My advice would be exactly what I've just said. Pray, sister. Chai. So what would you say?
So you contact, like in a situation like that, you contact the bank.
The bank?
And you try, and either, like, my card was immediately, they cancelled that card, because just in case anyone tries again, because what you get is they try with 100 Rand now.
They try again. Wonderful.
They try again next month with 102 Rand. So they cancelled that my card, so I had to apply for another one. So it's just being aware of the channels that you have, or even be aware of the channels. Go to the bank, find out like, what is this, or who can help me, and you don't necessarily sometimes have to go to the bank. I think now banks have made it easy where you can chat to someone on the app, and they can be able to help and check or validate if the money that left your account is really from a reputable company, or if it's fraud. So
you can also cancel your card, right?
Yeah, so they canceled my card, and then I had to apply for another one. So I'm gonna get a new one. So yeah, so in those cases, you just have to try and use the right channels. Don't panic too much.
Stay calm.
Yeah, I know it's a lot, but the first thing someone has to do is block your card. Block your card.
Thank you. That's what I wanted. Yeah, block your card. First thing, block your card. Okay, that's good. And here's a silly, well, maybe not silly, but actually important question. How would you say how can one stick to budget? Maybe this one is a soft skill. How can one just stick to budget?
Stick to budget. Budget needs discipline. So it needs like discipline.
Discipline.
Like
thank you.
Yeah, it needs discipline. Like I said in the beginning, like for someone who was interested in finance and all of that from an earlier age, it makes it easier. But for someone who's a bit older, they need to have an accountability partner, if I can say like that.
Accountability partner. Thank you for that.
So someone who's gonna be like, in your case, because you're married, your husband can be your accountability partner, where you have your goals of okay, this is the budget we want to buy at the end of the year. We want to buy new couches, or maybe by September we want to do something at home. So you have to write it down. I think the only way your budget works is when you write it down. Don't just have it off your head. You have to write it down, and then be specific, like research how much the couches cost. You can't just take
research. Good.
So research, go to different shops, like go to different vendors, and then try and check, okay, I love these ones and they cost 20,000. And then how are we going to do the 20,000? How realistically are we going to save to make sure by September we have the 20,000? So that means each month we're going to have to put 5,000, but 5,000 maybe this was doing something. So now we need to stop, for instance, going out for the full 5,000. We either have to spend 2,000, and then make sure that the rest of the money goes towards saving for these couches. So discipline just needs you to write it down and be realistic in achieving.
Write it down. Be
so
realistic. Yeah. I'm glad you are contributing with being realistic, because then I wanted to ask you, how do one avoid debt, whether good or bad? Even when we're talking about how to save, because we can have ample information on the above, but without that element or that fruit, of being disciplined, then we cannot achieve any of the above. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, apart from, added to being realistic. I'm loving that, being realistic, because we are living in a world where everything is on the pedestal, everything is on everyone's face. So that can also create this pressure, create expectations, the works, and also depending how a person is wired, what are their ambitions, how, it really depends from personality to personality and experience and whatnot, whether a person can be affected by those, because there are people, even if they are, I don't want to use race, but allow me to make this example. Growing up, I used to admire how white people would be rich, filthy rich, and still wear simple clothes. The first time I saw pants, network, it was white people. Network, I have to get this network. Like, it's for rich people. Network is from Jet. I'm like, it doesn't balance. Jet stores, network. And this person is driving cars. And they're having, savings, investments, and whatnot. And then on the flip side, our people, they will be wearing all the names.
The last things.
All the names, even the cars and stuff, and they will gladly park those cars next to a shack somewhere. And if I'm speaking to Black people here, you will know where I'm coming from. So no judgment whatsoever. No judgment. But you can actually already tell mindset here. So I'm glad that you're mentioning these things, such as being realistic, because also being realistic will help you to be patient. Because if you are able to say, we want to save 5,000 a month for the next 12 months, therefore let's not go out for these months. If we're disciplined, we have a long-term goal, we can sit, we are envisioning it, that shouldn't be hard. You understand what I'm saying? If you are a married couple and you only have one car, now you must be devising ways of, how to get, I'll use Uber, I'll take my city pass, you take the car, instead of stressing, but then that couple, they're having two cars, that also one, and that couple is married for 20 years and they've actually gone through
and their
this
goals
stage
are not the
in
same.
now.
Your goals as couples are not the same. So that's why people, yeah. Even my goal with my sister or someone who's even single, it's not the same. So therefore, tackling my finances is going to be different from someone else because of the goals that I have.
Exactly. But you need discipline. You need to be realistic. So I'm really glad that you're mentioning these parts. That should relieve us a lot, especially us who, and I'm saying us as humanity, who are on the digital space, who live their lives on social media, where you feel like, I also have to reach there. I also have to reach there. So thank you so much for saying that. Someone is saying, here, I'm taking it all in. I'm with you, sis. Ayajali says, I'm taking this in. Savings. And I see we have, I want to call her the advocate. Advocate Khwasabis. Are you seeing her here? I'm seeing her here. We have an advocate here. Yeah. So I think then as we are towards our closing, I would want to just quickly ask a bit about like types of income, and obviously in your field you can suggest like what kind of incomes, or that you can enlighten us with, like, okay, I'm just receiving one salary, do you think I can save by, okay, how can I get more money, I know there's passive income, but what is passive income all about? There's so you school us.
You know this, but you want me to say all this, but it's fine.
I may know, but I'm hosting, so we have people who would want to know these things.
I understand. So so there's, as you said, there's active and passive income. So your active income would be us going to work, trading my skills for money, trading my time for money, and then I get a salary. And then your passive would be one that is derived from stocks that you buy, your shares, and all of that. So for instance, I would buy unit trust with Ellen Gray, for instance, and I'll get dividends from that. Because let's say, for instance, Ellen Gray made money at the end of the year, and they're like, we're happy, the shareholders helped us reach a certain goal, so we're going to give them back a 20 rand or give them back 100 rand. So those are your dividends that you get, and that's a form of income. So what you can do, because the income is a bit small, because you'd say like 20 rand is small, so what I would do is reinvest that 20 rand, and it makes things easier. So there's a platform called Easy Equities. I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah.
But Easy Equities is a very good portal, if I can put it like that, where you can start buying shares but easy. You don't have to go and research or go to each company's website and look for the shares. So you go to Easy Equities and you buy.
It's like one-stop shop.
Yes. So you buy different companies. If you're interested in Engine, buy Engine. If you're interested in your Ellen Gray, you buy. So they'll give you the price of one share, and some of them cost like 20 rand. So with that 20 rand that you had earned from a dividend, you can buy another share.
Wow.
And it just makes things easier. So that's your passive income. So passive income is derived from money that is just working for you. If I can say, you're not working for it, it's working for you because you bought shares so many years ago, and it's making money for you. And then your other passives would be I don't know. I think that's a simple way to do it. Active, you're doing something. Passive is doing something for you. And yeah, that's a different incomes. But then for someone who wants to make more incomes or something like that, or who's interested to stream their income, because everyone is talking about salary is not enough, you have to have more streams of income. Yeah, that's true. But I feel like if you can, I know this is gonna sound weird, but I feel if you can manage the money that you have, right, and necessarily maybe just be introduced to passive income like buying shares, it's enough for me at this time. So buy your shares and see how it goes, and the money that you get from those shares, then you go maybe at buying cows, because now you can buy cows. I think they're about 12,000 rand for one cow, and it makes money for you. So you gradually start buying passive how can I say, like passive things that you're not doing anything and they working for you. So you earn your income, you earn your dividends and everything, and then you move over to buying maybe a cow, you move over to buying gold, you move over. So before you just rush and want to squeeze your little salary trying to stream quickly, maybe just try mastering what you have and maybe just add one more and then start planning, okay, next year it's working for me, let me do something else. So yeah, I think we need to just be careful about trying to diversify or trying to do a lot at once, because that's another downfall that people make, because then they're stressed out. I don't see what my money, yeah, all of that. So yeah,
I'm definitely gonna convince you, bring you back to speak about shares next quarter. Don't worry, next quarter. Talk about shares. Me and Noma here, we are learning a lot, and our viewer says this is very informative. I do have easy equities. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even sure what's really going on there. So I'm here, guys, making this confession that I'm gonna account here. I'm gonna come to Miss Gape and be like, okay, so this is what I have, this is what I did, or what should I do now? So I'm looking for others who are going to do the same. We are going to be on your case. We are coming to you. We're gonna come to your house or come to your inbox, come to your DMs, and yeah, that's what you are called, right? For, or you are done. You've completed a mission.
it's fine. I can do one-on-ones. I can do one-on-ones.
I love Noma. Noma says next month.
Noma
It's not me who's even speaking.
Noma,
You know,
Noma is.
it's not even me who's asking this next month, because the year is still starting. We want to make sure, Wuti, our finances are in order, you know. But thank you. That was very helpful. I think as we're closing, then I'm just gonna ask on the soft side of things, like how do you get your inspiration, and what do you do when you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling overwhelmed for whatever reason, you know? So then what would be your great motivation to be doing all of these things? Because even you making that effort, doing that research, making those comparisons, I'm that one kind. If I go to the store, I see what I'm looking at and I want it and I buy it. I don't really think I do have that time of leaving it there so I can go all the way to another store to compare or something. I don't know. My cousin sister does that. She can go to a store for a whole hour for one brand, but just having gone to different stores to compare prices. I don't do that.
But now,
but maybe
digital platforms. So now you can compare online. So you don't have to go physically to the store. So
do you see how much I was traumatized back in the days, such that I still feel like maybe that's how it's still done, you know? So now I can use the online platform.
Yeah, so
which is still an effort, but I'll try. Me and Noma, we're gonna try, you know. We're gonna try this. So how do you get inspiration?
So I think my inspiration is from God, if I can say it like that. And also what I do is I always look at people who've achieved things before me. Yeah. So even if friends that I have, I don't necessarily have friends who are in the same age group as me. I try and mingle with other people so that I can, by the time I get to where they are, I've already learned or know some of the things that they do. Good. So that's just always been me, like all the time. Like it just makes it easier. I think it just makes things, because I'm ambitious, sorry. So it just makes things easier to always be looking ahead and not just learning from the people who are going through what you're going through, but also look at what other people are going through. And I think when I'm stuck or when I'm feeling like overwhelmed, maybe I think necessarily your question was with regards to finances,
yes, stuck. Well, it's your field, but overall as a person, then how do you get inspiration? What do you do when you are feeling stuck? Remember, I think when I said that in this platform, when we have balanced all the technical, the fundamentals for whatever field, we want to speak to the person as well. Yeah.
So I have hobbies, like I'll run if I'm feeling like a lot, because if you in our field you think a lot, you're always just working overtime. When I'm sleeping, even yesterday I was like literally planning the session, like I'm thinking all the time. So things like do things you enjoy, like go run. I run and always I just try and because I like to jot down my plans and things I want to achieve. So going back to the drawing board and trying to see
Wonderful.
yeah, how I can achieve them, as well as what I do is to try and avoid the having so much anxiety is my goals are not all in one. So like for instance, this year I'll say I want to, like last year I wanted to learn to swim. So that's my plan. Last year I wanted to start swimming, and this year I want to play drums. So just realistic things, and not just say, okay, I want to learn drums, I want to swim, I want to achieve, I want to save 20,000, all of that. It's just making segments of your goals, and
Yes.
it just
Okay.
makes it
Segments
easy
of your
not to be
goals. Good one.
overwhelmed. Yeah.
Good one.
So that's just me. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Go back to the drawing board. Do the things that you love.
Yeah.
You know, be realistic, and you know, take segments of your goals to achieve them. That is good. That's what I took now out of what you said. If I'm paraphrasing. No, I think that was very informative. Any last words you have for our people here? Joining now. We're done, y'all, but you can always go back to this segment and listen again.
Okay.
Yes, last words to Soyisila, who just came in here in the official period.
So I just think my departing words to anyone is financial literacy. Finance is not something that's difficult. I just think we just have to take the skills that we received from it,
Yes.
like your budgeting, your investing, and knowing the difference between the two, saving and all of that. Just try and be able to use the skills in your day-to-day life, and it will make things a bit easier. Money is not scary. I think we all been created to have money, but I think
Correct.
we lose it when we don't know how to manage it, and that's what we need to learn how to manage it. If you don't know what to do, ask someone. You don't even have to tell me that how much you're going to be receiving. For instance, if you're going to be receiving 50,000, you don't have to tell me. Just say, Lisa, I'm going to be getting money. Can you guide me? And I'll try and assist where I can. Like I've said, be able, like, one thing we have to have as people is be able to be prepared for the future, and your emergency funds needs to be up to scratch. You need to have money for rainy days, and that's just the simple thing in life. Just have money for rainy days, and that's where your emergency funds coming to play. So if you need help, you can always just ask. But yeah, I think if we can master the skills of finance, we'll all be fine. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for taking time to impact in this way. It is definitely not taken lightly. I've learned a lot as well. Those who just joined in now, we're done. So what you can do at the end of this live, you can just go back and watch the segment. We spoke money matters, we spoke budgeting, good and bad debts, we spoke investing, we spoke, oh my goodness, so many things. So you go back and learn. But thank you so much for joining, and thank you, sis, for availing yourself and sharing with us in this way. And me and Noma, we are definitely bringing you back to speak about. We are bringing you back to speak about investing, dividends. You spoke dividends. Some of us, we are like, those languages, they still give us that anxiety.
But you're gonna make me feel bad now. But I tried to explain what a dividend is. It's like income that you get from
Are you trying to talk your way out of coming back?
No, because
You say I've already covered it.
No.
Which one is missing?
But sorry, just the last point. But the thing is with us finance people, we use jargons. So I tried to make sure that I don't use jargons. Now you're making me feel bad because you don't understand what a dividend is.
And we love it because then you can come back and explain to us.
Okay.
Oh, we just love you being on screen. So thank you very much. But yeah, definitely we learned. And thank you, ladies, for taking time as well to tune in. And I invite you again next week. We are still in South Africa. Next week, we are going to be talking to Shibituli. She's in feminine wellness. So we're talking all things feminine wellness. And she's also an entrepreneur. And then the last but not least, we are going to be having Miss Nkuna. She's from Johannesburg. She's a chartered quantity surveyor. I did not know that there's such a thing. I thought chartered is only
Accountant.
attributed or connected to her. Exactly. I'm like, chartered quantity surveyor. And she's an author of 14 books. So I can't wait to hear from her. So you guys tune in. And for those who don't know, this Saturday, the 17th, we are having our very first golf clinic. It's going to be at the King David Golf Club in Mobile. We're going to have fun. I'm just letting y'all know. Otherwise, it's fully booked. But I'm letting you know so that next time, be on the lookout on the things I post. Okay. So you know what's happening. And it's fully paid, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So me and my ladies, we are going in there. Those who registered on time, they secured their spaces. So golf lessons paid, refreshments paid. What else? Clubs and balls and all. T-shirts paid. So we're going to have fun. So I'm telling you so that you could be on the lookout, because I think next semester we're going to have a golf clinic again. Maybe you can learn a new skill. And it's Miss Ngepulai is learning what? Swimming. Your swimming was this year.
I want to play drums this year. I want to take a pause
this year. So you tackled swimming. You done
no,
swimming.
I'm not done, but I feel like
but progress.
Something else.
So drums. So me and my ladies, we are learning golf. It's gonna be my first time as well, so I can't wait. Imagine me, the host. I'm gonna go learn golf, but that's just to show that okay, let's go learn. There's no pro. We're gonna learn and have fun and network. There's gonna be stakeholders there, different companies. So yeah, we're gonna come out there having businesses and projects and whatnot. So thank you again for joining us. And yeah, I think we're gonna love and leave you. Bye guys, and thank you, sis.
Bye.
Okay, let's end this thing.